Hello and welcome. This is Christina Hills, and you are here for the big picture overview of creating an online business. And this is my masterclass training that will come with a PDF download. You'll be getting that later. So, in this training, you are going to learn all the things you need to set yourself up for massive success online. Well, first off, who am I? My name is Christina Hills, and I've been teaching a program called the Website Creation Workshop. And before that, I was in the Hollywood special effects industry. And the most famous film I worked on was Star Wars Episode 1. But here is my IMDb page. IMDb is like the database for movies and TV shows, and I have credits in a bunch of movies, so I have my own IMDb page. And I worked on Star Wars, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and Jurassic Park, and it was a lot of fun. This was before I had a kid, so E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Jurassic Park 2. This was a shot that I did, and my job was to mix together the live action with the dinosaurs. So I put the dinosaur in, put the smoke on top, put the red light glowing on the dinosaur, and made it all work together. And again, the most famous film I worked on was Star Wars Episode 1. Not the one that came out in the 70s, but the one that came out in the mid 90s. And as I mentioned before, since 2008, I've taught more than 4,000 coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, healers, and business owners how to quickly and easily create a website in WordPress. My passion and gift is teaching technology and making it easy. And I live the entrepreneurial lifestyle. And there's me with my daughter, Maggie, and I decided to become an online entrepreneur so I could be home with her. But early on in my career, I hired an outsourcing agency to build me some websites. So they had built me a couple of WordPress websites. But then they built something I didn't ask for. Can you guess what it is that they built? I'm embarrassed to tell this story, but I've gotten more comfortable with it. My webmaster built his own porn site inside my hosting account. So that was it for me. I couldn't believe it. I was paying him, and then he's spending the time on my dime creating a porn site. So no more depending upon these guys, right? So that's what turned the ship and set where I said I'm going to learn how to do this myself. And then once I did, I learned that I discovered that I could teach it to other people. All right, so enough about me. Let's talk about you. So this is you, and you're pretty smart and educated. But this online world is a little confusing because it's very ephemeral. You don't touch it. So what I want to do is give you the big picture overview of creating an online business. Because your website and your business is the heart of your marketing, right? So you have an online business. Your website is basically the center of your world on the internet. And I'll be talking about social media, but here's the important thing to remember about social media. You do not own your social media presence. So you're like a renter on all of these platforms, and at any point they can kick you out. But your website is something that you own and you have control of. So let's go through this online world with you at the center and all the social media around you, and sort of how we weave and move and interact online. So, social media, the point of social media, if you're doing it for business, is to bring people to your website. Engage with them and bring people to your website. The other way you get people to your website is with marketing and networking events and meeting people in person and talking to them and giving your website URL or a business card and having people go to your site. Another way to get people to your website is through email. Either email marketing, and I'm going to be talking about that, or just a signature line at the bottom of your personal emails that tell people your website. So these are the ways you get people to your site. And then once at your site, then they're clicking off of your site to go to your shopping cart, maybe to make a purchase of a product or service. Or if you do in-person consulting, or maybe you're a healer and people come to your center or your office, then from your website they get information to come to your clinic or store or home office. Or people come to your site and get information and then they call you because maybe you do phone consultations. But with all of this online world and marketing, your website is at the center. So let's talk about your website for a little bit. So your website is your home, and here are a few hosting companies to host your website, and I'm going to go deeper into that in a different training. But your website is your home, and your home has an address. And you might have bought that, and that is your domain name. And so you might have bought it at GoDaddy or Namecheap. There's lots of different places to buy a domain name. And your domain name is connected, it points to your hosting. So you buy your domain name, you buy your web hosting, and you connect it together. So for example, with the website creation workshop, screenshot of my homepage. Here's a screenshot of my blog. So when you go to my website, you can click on the menu at the top and you'll see my blog. And I send a blog post out about once a week. I also have ChristinaHills.com, and that's I call it my portal site. It's the main site, and from there you can find all my other websites. All right, so I'm going to take this poll. Do you have a website? Do you have a website? So either yes, and it's in WordPress. Yes, but it's not in WordPress. Yes, but I'm not sure what it is, or no, I don't have a site yet. So people are just clicking on the poll, and just go ahead and click on the screen. If you just joined us or you joined us late, we're taking a poll now. All right, I think I'll close the poll and I'll share the results. So a lot of you have a WordPress site. That's awesome. Some of you have a site, but it's not in WordPress. A few of you are not sure what your site is, and a whole bunch of you don't have a website yet. So I will hide that. I will be doing a training in a couple of weeks on going more deeply into a WordPress website. So you're going to want to watch for that. Watch your email for that. This one is more of a big picture, a little bit more general. And as I mentioned before, at the beginning of the webinar, I am going to have a training that's going to be coming up soon, so you'll want to watch for that. All right, so let's go back to the big picture of building your online business. So first I want to start with the social media part. Okay, so let's talk about social media. In 2020, an estimated 3.6 billion people are using social media worldwide, a number projected to increase to almost 4.41 billion in 2025. So you can see from this graph the growth of social media. More and more people are getting on social media. And here is the latest stats from the Social Media Examiner, who does an annual report on what are the most commonly used social media platforms. And Facebook is it, followed by Instagram, then LinkedIn, then YouTube, then Twitter, and TikTok, which is gaining more popularity. So who hangs out where, right? When you're thinking about having an online business and you're thinking about, where you want to spend your time or put your efforts in, I'm just going to go through briefly. This is a sort of short synopsis of the different social media platforms. So Facebook, well, everybody's on Facebook pretty much. Instagram is gaining a lot of traction. It's a little bit more personal, visually oriented, and I've got this saying younger generation, but really it's catching up to Facebook. Twitter, customer service and news and big celebrities are on Twitter. And then LinkedIn, corporate networkers, recruiters, it's mainly B2B. It's mainly a little bit more serious. The other social media, YouTube, entertainment industry, it's a lot of how-to. People are making money from their YouTube views and people with video-friendly content to share. TikTok, I currently don't have a TikTok account. TikTok is a younger crowd. They're short videos, they're tall format, and people dancing and singing and expressing themselves. So I'm not a huge fan of TikTok, but there are people there. And then Pinterest is also very visually oriented. It skews female, and it's a lot of crafters, photography, food, fashion, fitness are on Pinterest. All right, I'm going to take this poll. Do you use social media? Do you use social media? Yes, all the time. Yes, but only occasionally. No, not yet. Or no, I hate social media. And then maybe you're not sure. It is okay to hate social media. I know a lot of people who don't like social media or they closed their social media accounts. I'm just curious for the people here live if you what you think about social media. So go ahead and click on the screen. We'll get a few more votes and then I'll close the poll. And as you notice, I'm taking a lot of polls today. The question is for either personal or business. It's just, do you use it? Do you use it? All right, I think I'll close the poll. Share the results. So a lot of you are using it all the time. A good portion are using it, but only sometimes. And a few of you know not yet. And a few of you hate social media, no problem. And then some of you are not sure. All right. My next slide is a question for you to type in the question box. Which social media platform do you spend the most time on, either business or personal? So just type in the chat. And I think that I should add a slide there so people can know how to type in the chat. So hopefully you know how to type in the chat. And we have, let's see, Joanna, can you just read out how people are responding?
Yeah, so we have a lot of people that are using Facebook. We've got some that are on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Looks like we've got a Clubhouse, YouTube. I would say Facebook is the predominant one that I'm seeing.
Yeah, and I probably should have added Clubhouse to my slides, so maybe I'll do that in the future. Okay, looks like mostly Facebook is what people are saying, and that's what I was expecting. All right,
Yes.
so why am I asking this? The thing about social media and your website is you can share your articles to social media. So, for example, I have this article and I shared it to Facebook. So I just took some screenshots. Then I shared that same article to Instagram. Now, with Instagram, you can see a picture, but you can't see, um, there's no clickable links, right? So Facebook works a little bit better because people can click. But on Instagram, people can actually, they can see the image. Then I also shared this to LinkedIn. So I took the same article and I shared it to multiple places. And then I also shared it to Twitter. So what I did in this instance was I had an article on my website that I shared from social media to get people engaged, right? Engaged with it, and then they would click and come to my website. So the next way to get people to your website is networking events, and I don't have a slide for that, but let's move on to email marketing. So I want to talk about email marketing. So here's the blog post article on my website, and this was the one that I shared to social media. I also, when I do a blog post article, I send it out in my newsletter. So I'm just type in the chat. Are you on my newsletter? You might not have gotten this one, but are you on my email list? I think most of the people here are on my email list. Yeah, so anytime I do a blog post, I also email it out because you're going to catch different people in different places. You might not have gotten this one. It depends when you joined my email list. So if you didn't get this article, don't worry about it. So what I'm doing is I'm repurposing my labor. I'm writing an article and repurposing it. So here's the great thing about email marketing. You send an email and it gets people to your website, but then on your website, they'll find the place to opt in and then they'll get on your email list. So this is kind of a two-way street, right? Your website, people go to it to opt in, then they get on your email list, then on your email list, you're sending emails out and sending them back to your website. So the whole point of an email list is to build a group of people and create a loyal following. People who like you, like what you have to offer, and like your information. So every business, every online business needs some kind of opt-in offer. And if you're getting started and you're thinking, oh my goodness, Christina, I'm just trying to get set up online. I don't know if I can put together an opt-in offer. You can always have a get my latest articles. You know, it's not the best, but you can always do that. So where do you put this opt-in? Well, you can have a right sidebar with an opt-in. So this is on my blog, I have a sidebar, or you can have a standalone page where people go to and they click to opt in. And here you would click and a little pop-up box would pop up and people would opt in. Then either way you have it set up, they would get to a thank you page. So I call this the thank you download page. So they opt in, and on the thank you page is a video and then a PDF that people can click and download. At the same time, a follow-up email message is sent to the visitor. So you've probably seen this many times, and you've probably experienced this also, that when people sign up, when you sign up to someone's list, you get an email download as well as that thank you page. All right, so let me use this picture. I think this picture explains it well. So somebody comes to your website, they see the opt-in offer, whatever it might be, they enter their name and email, they get to a thank you page. At the same time, the information goes into an email marketing database, and then a series of one or several email messages will go to the person based on what they opted in for. So here is another example, my do-it-yourself website creation checklist. You click to download it, a pop-up box pops up, and then you get to a thank you page where you can get the download, watch the video, and on mine, I generally have a link to one of my other trainings. Again, at the same time, an email comes in to the person who opted in, and then they get the download as well. So I always have an email and a thank you page to follow up with the person. All right, so your opt-in goodie, right? People are opting into something, and I call it the opt-in goodie. So when you're having an opt-in goodie that you're going to have for your own business, you need to decide on the content and the format. So what's your opt-in goodie content, right? So it should be about your area of expertise, and this is going to be different for everybody. So if you don't have one yet, ask your current clients what they might want, or just do some brainstorming. Like, whatever your expertise, what could the opt-in be, right? So that's the content. What information are you going to give people? Then you want to think about your format. So what format is your opt-in offer going to be? So some people are really good at making Word docs and PDFs, and they have information. So maybe it's going to be a PDF handout, or maybe it's going to be a video, or maybe your opt-in is contact me for a consultation or a sample music. There's lots of different opt-ins. There's lots of different formats you can have for your opt-in offer. All right, I want to take this poll. Do you have an email marketing system? And I'm guessing most people don't, so don't feel bad if your answer is no. Do you have an email marketing system already? You know, something like MailChimp or Aweber, Constant Contact, or Active Campaign, or Infusionsoft, or Entreport. All right, I'm going to close the poll. Enough of you have voted, and share the results. So, like I imagine, some have one already, but the majority of you don't. Okay, that is quite all right. And let me just pause. Am I going too fast, or is the pacing good? Just type in is my pacing okay? Okay, it looks like most people are saying the pacing is good. Okay, great. And again, I will be answering questions at the end. All right, well, here's my quote. In order to email your list, you have to email your list. And that sounds kind of silly, and it sounds sort of redundant, but people get used to getting an email once a day, or getting an email once a week, or getting an email once a month. So if you like to email your list a lot, you have to email them a lot. So in order to email your list, you have to email your list. And when I started out, I was emailing like once a month. I'd put a newsletter out, and then I kicked it up to once a week, and now I'm emailing multiple times a week. All right, well, I wanted to point out to watch for the PDF resources handout that will be coming in your email. So that will be either sometime today or tomorrow. You should get that in your email. All right, so that kind of summarizes the overview of the email marketing part. Now I want to talk about selling online. So let's talk about selling your products and services online. All right, I got another poll. Do you currently sell online? Yes, on my own website. Yes, but on a third-party website, that might be like Amazon or something. No, not yet, or no, I don't want to sell online. So I'm imagining most people will say no, not yet, but there are some who are selling on their website. So just click on the screen while I take a sip of water. All right, I'm going to close this poll and share the results. So some of you are selling on your website, bravo. And some of you are selling on a third-party website. Like I said, it might be Etsy or Amazon or some other place like that. But the majority of people here are not yet selling. So I will close that poll. So let me walk you through the sales process, kind of like my other diagram, a single product sales process. So what do I mean by a single product? Like if you're selling an event, or if you're selling a group coaching, or if you're selling, one-on-one consulting, that's a single product, meaning the goal that you have for the person visiting your site is to just buy one thing. So in this example, they come to your site, they see what they want to buy, they go straight to the order form, and then they go to the post-purchase thank you page. Versus like going to a website like Amazon, you buy, you add it to the cart, and then they tell you, would you like to buy this other thing? And they keep filling up the cart. So here's the example. So I have an online course called the Graphics Creation Workshop. And at the bottom of the page is a place to click to purchase, to enroll in that program. And that one has just a one-time fee. When they click, they get to a secure order form, and this is where they enter their credit card info and name and billing address. And then on the next page, the thank you page in this instance takes you inside the course. So there's an in-between stage where you pick a username and password, and then you get inside the program for the graphics creation workshop. And we might have some students here today who are in that program as well. Here's an example of a colleague of mine, Judy Foster. Her site is womenswisdom.net. And what she sells is a membership. So she sells a membership to her community, and there's different pricing levels. And the way she does it is people go straight over to PayPal. So it is my opinion that everyone should have PayPal. Everyone should have PayPal. And there are two types of PayPal accounts: a personal account and a business account. So let me explain what the difference is. A personal PayPal account is for people who shop online or maybe send money to friends, but with a personal account, you can't accept credit cards. With a business account, it does allow you to accept credit card payments, and it allows you to do business under a business name and do a PayPal mass pay. So I recommend that you get the business account. Now, the business account I have, I don't pay a monthly fee for it. So I don't pay for anything if I make a sale, PayPal will take a cut, just like a credit card company will take like a 3%. But I'm not paying a monthly fee. So that's key when you're thinking of getting a PayPal account. You want to get a business account connected to your business checking account. You can still have a personal account, if you're going to shop for yourself or buy Christmas presents or whatever, you want to have that connected to your personal checking account. But again, you always want to consult with your tax advisor. Now, Stripe, my next slide. Stripe is a payment processor that allows you to take credit cards. So some people don't want to deal with PayPal. You can sign up for Stripe. You pay as you go. There's no setup monthly or hidden fees, and you only pay for what you use. So if you're getting started and maybe the first month you're getting things set up, you wouldn't pay anything. Again, they take a cut. I don't know exactly what it is. It's something like 3%. So here's my how a product is sold online diagram, which was similar to the email marketing diagram. The person comes to the site, they find the product for sale, they click, they get to that shopping cart order form, then they get to a post-purchase thank you page, and that can be many different things. Sometimes the thank you page is great, we got your order, we'll ship it to you within a few days. So then the money that you've collected goes in either to your merchant account or your PayPal account. Again, the merchant account is when you sign up for credit card processing. And then your information goes into your shopping cart account database, and the customer will get an email receipt and any other follow-up emails that go along with that product or program. So walking through this diagram again, here's an example of a sales page for the website creation workshop. And then at the bottom of the sales page are the different payment plans. A person would click on the payment plan and then get to the order form, the secure order form where they enter their credit card details, and then the thank you page takes them into the private members area, and they would pick a username and password and then get into my private members area. That's how I'm selling because I teach online, so people purchase my trainings and they get into the members area. So again, this is that diagram of what I just walked you through of how a product is sold online. So what product do you want to create? Again, just like an opt-in, you want to choose your product or program format. So maybe it's making videos, maybe you've got a video training or PDFs, or you've got audios. Maybe you're selling meditation audios. Maybe part of your thing that you're selling has checklists or diagrams or digital downloads. Maybe you're selling a community, and so people are buying into the community forum. Live webinars. Live webinars are part of my training programs. Maybe you're selling software or tools, or maybe you're selling in-person seminars where people go online to buy your in-person seminar, and then you send them the information and then they show up at the location. So here's another poll. Which format is easiest for you? So if you're thinking about creating something online, what's going to be easiest for you? Is it going to be making videos or audios? Is it going to be live webinars or teleseminars? And teleseminar, not too many people do teleseminars anymore. Or maybe creating PDFs or checklists or diagrams, or maybe it's something else that I haven't thought of. I think we should make a note, Joanna, the other, we should have live events. I think live events should go in there. Just make a note while people are clicking the poll. All right, I think about half of you have voted. I think I'll close the poll because I want to keep this moving along. All right, so I'm going to close the poll and share the results. So, and I see people are typing in, I need to add in person, right? So it could be a therapy appointment or a in-person consultation or a healing. And so I need to add that for next time. But anyway, as you can see, most of the people who answered, it's PDF checklists and diagrams, but then there's also videos and for some people live webinars or teleseminars. Okay, so I'm going to hide that again. So just like an opt-in goodie, what need would a potential customer or client have? And what product or program could you create to solve that need? So when you're thinking about selling something online, you want to think about what expertise do you have and what need does a potential customer slash client, what need do they have that you could fill? Or you don't have to sell your own product. You could sell other people's products. And so you could sell affiliate products on your site. So here's an example. I don't provide hosting, but I suggest hosting companies. And then I always give out my affiliate link for those hosting companies. And another way to do it is Amazon. Sign up for an Amazon Associates program, and then you can add the links to your website, and then when people click based on your recommendation, you can earn some money. So here's an example of someone who's a health and lifestyle coach, and they have books that they recommend that they have listed on their site. Now, it's really hard, just a little aside, it's really hard to make a ton of money from having an Amazon store on your website. You'll make a little bit of money, but it's difficult to make a ton of money. So just keep that in mind, but everything helps. So if you're going to recommend some books, you might as well get a little bit of credit when people click and purchase that book. All right, so what do you need to sell directly online? So here's my list. You need a website, a product or a program, a payment processor like a merchant account, PayPal, or Stripe, some kind of shopping cart system, an email system. And then I have in here fulfillment house. That's only if you're selling physical products and shipping them yourself. If you are going to sell through Amazon, then they provide all of that. And actually, if you're going to sell through Amazon, you don't need a payment processor. But you will need, if you're going to deliver digital goods, you're going to need a way to deliver your digital goods. So here is my diagram expanded. And so you've got your website, you've got your shopping cart order form, you've got the post-purchase thank you page. In my program, people can also get a binder that I ship out and mail to people. You need a way to take credit cards or PayPal, and then some kind of shopping cart system, and then often the shopping cart system will send an email receipt, but then you'll need, at some point, you'll need an email system to send the follow-ups. So once you have an email list and a product or program, you can create a simple marketing funnel. So here is a simple marketing funnel. People come to your site, they opt in for the free offer, and you start sending them emails, and then over time, you will send them something, an offer for a program or a product, and they'll see that, get engaged, make a purchase, and now you've got the customer as a person as a customer, or they're in your membership program or your online course. So this is a very, very simple marketing funnel. Back to my big picture overview, let's just talk briefly about phone. Let's talk about phone, webinar, or Zoom consultations. So if you're going to have an online business, many people start out as a consultant. You don't have to have a product off the bat. So Zoom is a great way. People are very familiar with Zoom. A basic Zoom meeting is free, although they do limit the time that you can have for your Zoom call, and they limit the number of people that you can have. So Zoom is one system, GoToWebinar or GoToMeeting is another system, and you'll just have to look and see based on the pricing what's going to work for you. Now, some people just they don't do Zoom or GoToMeeting, they just do phone. So they just set up, they call people directly. So that's fine too. It's whatever you are comfortable with. The nice thing about doing a Zoom call, if you're a consultant, you can record it with your client and then send them the recording, and it really adds a lot of value to your one-on-one coaching or consulting. So the great thing about an online business is it allows you to make money while you're playing. So that's my husband and daughter and I at Disneyland. We love going to Disneyland, and my website is still up and going while we are away. And an online business gives you more time for family. And when my daughter was in school, was in elementary and middle school, she would act in these plays, and so I was able to donate my time and my money to the nonprofit, which was the theater group she was a part of. An online business lets you spend more time on your other creative projects. So my daughter, husband, and I, we did a little Web Riding Hood skit, and my husband played the wolf, and my daughter played Little Red Riding Hood. These are just a few stills. We did Alice in WordPress Land. That's me and my daughter many years ago. This is also from Alice in WordPress Land, and this is from Little Web Riding Hood. So you're going to want to watch for the PDF resource guide that will come in your email. So you will want to watch for that. And this has been the big picture overview of creating an online business. Again, my name is Christina Hills. And I now just want to briefly tell you about my next training event. So my next training event is in a couple of weeks. Joanna, if you could put that link in the chat for the website creationclass.com/webinars, and you can pick the day that works for you. On that training event, I will be going into how you can easily create a beautiful website in WordPress. That's going to be more WordPress specific. And then also on that call, I'll be talking about my summer camp, which is coming up soon. So I'm going to be doing kind of a summer boot camp. It's going to be shorter than my normal program, but it's sort of condensed down and will let you get your website up this summer. All right, let me go to questions. Now is a great time to type in questions about the training today.
Okay, great question. So Sherry was asking, when you were on step 5 of the sales process and the customer information goes into the shopping cart account, she was asking, is this part of my website or what is it?
Okay, let me get back. Step 5 of the selling online, or was it the email marketing?
Selling online, I believe, because it had to do with the shopping cart.
Okay, is that this slide?
Um,
Or,
yes, because it's
yeah,
she said when the customer information goes into the shopping cart
okay,
account.
okay.
Is that part of the website or what is that?
Okay, so typically that's a separate system that you connect together. So like I showed you with, let me go back to the example of Judy Foster's site with Women's Wisdom. So here's her site. Here's a page on her site that people click. She didn't get a full-blown shopping cart system. Instead, she just has people go into PayPal. So she's connected her website with PayPal, and then they make the purchase on PayPal. So this is why I recommend that everybody should have a PayPal account. So that is the fastest way to start selling online. But then you may at some point want to um, get a shopping cart system because you can do more with it.
Okay, which segues nicely into her second question.
Okay.
So it sounds like PayPal. Well, she says, if I want to use PayPal, do I still need a separately purchased shopping cart system? And if yes, what are some examples of shopping cart systems, or what is the best one out there?
We're going to send out the ones that we like in the email that we're going to send out to you either today or tomorrow. So the one I use is ThriveCart, christinasresources.com/ThriveCart. Did I answer her whole question? I think there was another part to it.
Yes, there was. If you use PayPal, do you need to use a shopping cart system as well?
Um, well, some people don't like PayPal, so it's good to have both. So let me
Okay.
go to, hold on, let me go to, I'm bringing up, I'm going to bring something up. Hold on while I find something. Okay. So remember in the training today, I talked about the graphics creation workshop. I'll put this in the chat.
Is your screen
Oh,
paused?
my screen is paused. Thank you. So I just put that in the chat. The graphics creation workshop, this is the sales page, and you can read all about this program. I'm scrolling to the bottom, don't get dizzy. It's a one-time fee, so you can click to enroll now. And I give people the option of paying by a credit card or using PayPal. So some people only want to pay with PayPal and they love it when you offer PayPal. Some people hate PayPal and just don't want to have anything to do with it. So the idea is you give people options. If you're just starting out and PayPal's all you got, then put that up. And then, so Sherry's asking if you're just using PayPal,
Yes.
the customer's info goes into PayPal, and then PayPal will hold the money, and then the money PayPal will transfer to you, and they're going to send you the information of the PayPal sale. So you'll
Okay,
get that
so
in an email.
the customer information will forward on to you.
Right, right.
Okay, perfect. Now, Bob was asking if you're using Stripe, do you need to have a website first, or can you sign up for Stripe before you have your website?
I'm not sure. I think you can sign up before you have your website, but I'm pretty sure you can that
I
would
th
make sense.
I think you can as well.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
can. And again,
Okay.
it's free to sign up for Stripe. You just got to connect it to your bank and do all their forms.
Okay. And Jackie, we'll come to Jackie's question next, but Bruce had a question on the same topic. And he was asking, what's the advantage of PayPal versus a merchant account?
So just like I said, some people love PayPal and they only want to buy online things with PayPal. A merchant account, when you do a lot of volume, you'll get a better price. So, and boy, I haven't done, it's hard to do the math in my head. 3% of $100 is $3, right? So if your product's $100, PayPal's taking $3. Okay, that's not that big of a deal, whereas a merchant bank might only take $2.40. But when you get up to $100,000 and 3% of $100,000, it makes a bigger difference. So um, that's the benefit of having a merchant account, is when you get into higher volume, you're going to save money.
Okay, sounds good. So moving on to Jackie's question. So Jackie just wanted a little bit of clarification on the um, email marketing system
Yes, and
flow.
let me just remind everybody. So I'm taking questions on what I covered today, the material I covered today. If you've got a WordPress question, like WordPress versus other systems, you're going to want to sign up for the next webinar in a couple of weeks.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds
back to
great.
you.
Yes, so Jackie was asking for clarification. So she says
Okay.
people get an email, they go to your site, and then they opt into your email list. So who sends them the initial email?
Okay, let me find my diagram. So people opt into your site, then who sends them the initial email? That's whatever email marketing system you have. And we are going to be emailing that out, that PDF out with the different resources. So that would be something like, I use Aweber, it might be ActiveCampaign or MailChimp or Constant Contact. So you would get an email marketing system and connect that with your website. So the
Okay,
initial
so
email you write, but you put it into your email marketing system.
okay, so I think her question is more, if they're not on your email list, they're not going to get the email that you send out.
Right,
So
right. They
I
have
guess
to opt in. Yeah.
right. So
Like
maybe the
everybody
question,
here opted in for this call today, this webinar today.
yes.
So yeah, they have to opt in. They have to take some action. So they might find out about it through social media, or they might find out about it, through social media, going to your website and then opting in.
Okay. So Jackie, did that answer your question?
No, she says
Um,
there's a different slide.
well,
Is
you
that
added
right?
a little bit more information on, so I don't know if that
Oh,
additional
okay.
information answered her question.
So this
So,
follow-up email, it comes from me, but it's going through my email marketing system. So I'm not sending it. You can see here it says via Aweber. So I put this into my Aweber account, that when somebody opts in, this is what you should send them.
okay. Jackie said it's right after you talked about repurposing articles.
This one, is this the slide, Jackie?
I think right after that one. So I think it's the next one.
Okay, so there's an article on my website, and then I put this into my email marketing system, and this article goes out. So
Okay.
this is a download page. This is on my website. I think I answered her. I
I
think I
think so
answered
as
her.
well. Jackie, let
Okay.
us know if
Yes.
you have any clarification questions on that. I think we did get it answered. Okay. Um,
Pat's question is funny.
which one?
Pat's question about
Okay.
PayPal.
Yes. I guess we can just ask it right now. So
Yes.
Pat says, I've never used PayPal for anything, so I'm curious as to why someone would hate it.
Um, Pat, thank you for reminding me that I shouldn't say people hate it. Some people don't have PayPal. So, since you've never used PayPal for anything, if you went to a website and the only way to make a payment was through PayPal, that might shy you away from buying that product. But I know, I mean, at this point, most people have PayPal, but in the early days, a lot of people didn't like PayPal. There's some clunkiness to PayPal, and when you purchase with PayPal, it or if you've got PayPal on your site, PayPal is trying to get your client to sign up for a PayPal account versus thinking about you. So that's the one thing about PayPal I don't really like is, they it takes people away from your site. Now they're on to the PayPal site, and then at the end, PayPal's like, "Hey, sign up with us." So that's a bit of a drawback. But then I've had other clients who say, I only want to buy it if you sell with PayPal. So now in PayPal, and I don't have a slide of this, if you have the PayPal business account, they can pay with a credit card through PayPal. And Joanne, I just don't have those slides to show how that works. So
Okay,
I can't bring it up.
sounds good. So our next question is from Nick, and Nick said, how would this be automized, including emails?
How would it be automated?
I think that's what
So,
he's asking, but I'm not sure what part, um,
okay, let
where
me
you were in the
go to,
presentation when he asked that question.
okay, so,
It was towards the end.
all right, let me just bring up my site. So how is it automated once I set this up for people to get the free report? People could come at any time to my site, opt in, and then the email will go out automatically. Like I don't have to be there to send, I'm not sending the email. It's going into my email marketing system, and the email marketing system is automatically when somebody opts in, and I have various different things to opt in for. It's looking what did they opt in for, and it's sending them the email themselves.
Okay, so the way to automate it is then to set up the email marketing system so that way when
Ahead of
somebody
time.
ahead of
Yes,
time, yes, and then it
yes,
all just happens automatically.
exactly.
Okay, sounds good. So our next question is, oh, Bruce was asking if all of your emails are automated.
Um, well, pretty much, but some things I'm writing them the morning of and I'm sending it out. Some things I'm writing a couple days ahead of time and then I schedule it to go out. So the goal, sometimes I get an idea and I just go to Aweber and I type it in and I press send and then it sends it out to everyone. So that's, I guess in the future I should add a broadcast versus an automated. So, for example, today's event was a scheduled event, and we sent out a reminder this morning for people to come. People who had signed up a few days ago or whenever, it was a reminder to come today. That I hope that explains that.
Okay, and then Bob also mentioned with PayPal sometimes, uh, well, that PayPal can offer a 4 payment option or pay nothing for 6 months and then pay in full,
I think that
but for
depends
the
upon,
US only.
um, I don't know how PayPal works outside of the US, Bob. And I also, there's, what is it called, Joanna? There's like a PayPal payments. So if
I
the
think it's
product
PayPal
you're
credit.
PayPal credit, yeah.
I think so.
Boy, I could just do a whole training on PayPal.
From PayPal, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Laura was asking, are you writing your blog in your website? And if so, how does that pull into your email system?
All right, so like this was the blog post I did for today's event, and there's a place to sign up for the webinar. So let me go back to the one I did a little bit older. Oh, here's this one everyone would like. Do you know the psychology of color on your website? So I wrote the article, and then Aweber pulls it in. I have it set up where it pulls it in, and I might make a little bit of tweaks and then send it out. So Aweber automatically pulls it in. And then we do a couple of hand tweaks because we just like to adjust the formatting slightly. Why do I prefer Aweber? I don't necessarily prefer Aweber, actually. I would, if I were to do it over again, I think I would go to ActiveCampaign. But Aweber is such a good company. They're such a solid company with nice, honest people. So it's, and again, you're going to get this all in the handout. Where's my slide for that? That's going to come. Joanne, I don't know if we're sending that out today or tomorrow, but all these links for these different systems are going to come in your email.
Okay, and to set up the feature to where the blog automatically goes into Aweber, is that something that you use a plugin for, or is that just a different
It,
thing that you
it
set up?
it's called oh, I can't remember the term. Either it's called blog broadcasting or there's another term for it. Some email systems you can set up will automatically pull it in, or you can just go in and copy and paste from your blog into the email system. So blog broadcasting, but there's another term for it. Let me see if I can find what it's like. It might be called RSS to email. That's kind of a techie term.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I wasn't sure if
Yeah,
that's what it was called. So, okay, sounds good.
I think it's called RSS to email.
Okay,
Aweber calls it blog broadcasting, but I think the technical term is RSS to email.
okay, we have a couple other questions. Um, Connie was asking if you're still teaching the Create Your Online Course
Yes, I
workshop.
am, Connie. Yep. How to create an online course. Yep, I teach that as well.
Okay,
And if you, Connie, you can email support about that if you want more info. I'm not doing a promotion on that right now, but you can
okay.
find out more about it.
And Magdalena was just wondering, what type of business license do I need for an online business? I live in California.
Okay, so I can't give legal type of business advice. So I would start by asking your accountant what you need in terms of a business license.
Okay, sounds great. So it's the last question that I see
Awesome.
that came in. We had a lot of people saying thank you.
All right.
And
Well, I do want to remind people to sign up for my How to Easily Create a Beautiful Website in WordPress, even if you hate technology. And on that training, you can pick either Thursday or Friday, June 16th or June 17th. And I will then be talking more about my summer camp, my website creation camp that's going to be coming up. I think we're going to open that up on the same day. Yeah, if you want to sign up for that. Awesome. And if you missed any part of this training, we will be sending out a replay.
okay, we had a lot of
Okay.
people saying thank you so much. It was wonderful and helpful information, and Bob's going to sign up for the next course on
Awesome.
WordPress.
Awesome. All right. Well, I want to thank you to Joanna for assisting me today, and thank everybody else on my team. Watch your email for the PDF resource that we are going to be sending out, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.